How is it going, everyone, and welcome back to yet another video on the channel. Now, today's video is yet another trade proposal that I have prepared for you, but this one, unlike the last couple ones that I have created, is a little bit different. Generally, for these types of videos, what I like to do is depict a scenario, take it and talk about why I feel a certain team would be worthy enough and why it would make enough sense for them to target a certain player. Now, obviously, this one is quite similar to that in that sort of fashion, but this one is more so a what-if scenario. Not necessarily talked about by the media, but I feel like it would be very interesting to just spark a little bit of discussion between the comments and this video. And in this video in specific, as you can see from the title and thumbnail, it is a what if the Vancouver Canucks were to target a player like Jack Hughes in a trade and reunite the Hughes brothers. If you guys are excited for this video, please make sure to drop a like, subscribe, help me out guys, thank you guys so much, I really appreciate that. Comment down below your thoughts. I definitely want to hear you guys have to think about this trade. It would definitely be very interesting to hear you guys' opinions. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, the main reason that I'm actually making this video in the first place is not necessarily because of the fact that I actually think Jack Hughes will end up on the Vancouver Canucks, because if I'm being real, he probably won't end up there anytime soon. So Devils fans, don't worry if you're kind of panicking seeing these thumbnail and title. This is all just speculation. It's more so the fact that I think it's really cool to just hypothesize the possibilities of the Hughes brothers reuniting and actually being on the same team together. And that's basically what the general consensus behind this video is. It's just what the price would actually be to see a Hughes brother combo on the same team, because not to mention the fact that that would be an absolutely deadly combo on a power play. So that's basically what we're going to be going over in this video. But first, we actually have to go back to 2018, back when Quinn Hughes was first drafted by the Vancouver Canucks 7th overall in Dallas. Following that draft, there was actually an interview with Jack Hughes and younger brother Luke, and it was pretty lighthearted for the most part. It was basically just talking about how Jack Hughes liked the whole experience. Obviously, he was going to be draft caliber next year, and it was pretty lighthearted for the most part, at least until the end, where the final question of the interviewer asked really turned a bunch of Canucks fans' heads over and really got them, let's just say, riled up. And the question was, if you could play on any NHL team next year or get selected by any NHL team, which would it be? And Jack Hughes' answer actually sparked a lot of discussion in Canucks Reddit, in Canucks Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. And his answer was, well, I'd love to play with Quinn. I mean, the guy's just so good. And obviously the Canucks had just drafted Quinn, and this got a lot of Canucks fans really excited. And not to mention the fact that obviously he didn't get drafted by the Vancouver Canucks. It seemed all the stars were lining up. It seemed Jack Hughes wanted to play with his brother. The draft was held in Vancouver. Back then, the stars were aligning, but obviously, with the Canucks' luck, they did not end up with the first overall pick. And I think that the general consensus behind this whole, Jack Hughes wanted to play with his brother thing, obviously he didn't give an actual answer of which team he wanted to play for. It was more of like a teaser or just a way of, not really revealing it too hard. And I think that Jack Hughes would still want to play with his brother no matter what team he was on. But just to mention, that was actually a very, pivotal moment in, I'd say, just the whole Jack Hughes situation. It really got people wondering, where he actually wanted to end up in the first place. It has been about 2 years since Jack Hughes had that interview and he said those words. And now that we're in mid-2020, I think I've finally come up with an answer as to why he actually said that. Obviously, Jack Hughes did not have the greatest season in the NHL for his rookie campaign, scoring the least out of any first overall pick in the past decade. But the reason for that may not have been just because he was new to the NHL, he was young, but maybe it's because of the fact that he doesn't play well with players that he doesn't have chemistry with. Now, you may look at me weird when I say that at first, but allow me to reiterate. When Jack Hughes was on the US national team development program, he was the undisputed first overall pick. He was left, right, center on the ice. He was scoring goals. He was breaking records that were formerly held by guys like Austin Matthews and Phil Kessel. The guy was doing amazing. But was that only because he was playing with players that he had played with since his childhood? And I'm talking about the five-headed monster on that US development team program, which included players like Trevor Zegras, Alex Turcotte, Cole Caulfield, Matt Boldy, and obviously Jack Hughes. Now that those players are all split up on different teams, and they're going to be with players that they have never played with before, will they still have the same impact that they had on the US development team program? That's what I'm trying to say, and I talked about this with a couple of people before the draft last year in 2019. Would they still be as effective when they're split up? And as it was proven with Jack Hughes, he was not nearly as effective as he was on that US development team program. So could that mean he might want a trade? He might want to have a trade, you never know. But would he want to have a trade to make him look better because he'll be playing with a guy like Quinn Hughes, who he had been playing with his whole life, obviously being his brother? That's the question that I'm asking. Obviously, Jack Hughes heading into his sophomore season does not want to repeat the season that he had this year, but could that mean he could go to the extent of switching teams and getting traded to an all-new NHL team? Maybe a team like the Vancouver Canucks, or possibly a team with one of the five-headed monsters on the US development team program. I could see it going either way. Obviously, Jack Hughes would want to play with players that he's more comfortable with because obviously they'll know where he is on the ice, all that kind of stuff with IQ. But you know how it works. You're not going to always be playing with the players that you have played with for your childhood. You're going to have to be able to adapt, and that's part of being in the NHL. So could this kind of stunt Jack Hughes' development, or could we see him possibly play with one of his old teammates? I don't know. There have also been a lot of rumors to Capo leaving. Obviously, he did not have the greatest season in the Rangers uniform, but I mean, we'll get onto that in another video. Obviously, going 1 and 2, these two players did not play to their fullest potential, and they're still young, so it's okay. They're only 18 years old. They're kids, guys. You have to remember that. But could this mean that because of the fact that they did not click, they might be moving teams? That's what I want to hear in the comment section below. Is this a possibility? Could we see Jack Hughes in another uniform next year? And also, before I end out this video, just keep in mind, I am not speaking on behalf of an analyst or an article like I have with a couple of the other ones that I have covered in the previous weeks or so. But this one is much more of like a what-if scenario, and I thought it'd just be a little bit of fun to cover. I've just always really wanted to see what the Hughes brothers are capable of doing together in a league like the NHL. I just thought it would be really cool, and that's why I really wanted Jack to come to the Canucks. So, do I think that Jack Hughes has shown his true colors? No. But do I think that he could be stunted his development by not playing with players that he's played with in the past? I think so, so we'll see. But let me know in the comment section below. Obviously, I've said that before. But yeah, I think that's probably going to end up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to drop a like, comment down below your thoughts, and subscribe. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers. And also, the 2014 playoffs are coming up very soon. I'm very hyped, and I'll be covering a lot. So be sure to hit the bell, be on the lookout for that. Anyways, that's probably going to end it off. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll be sure to catch you guys all in the next one. So yeah, peace.